Indian culture. You know, a lot of people is coming out. They speaking up about this. You remember, you know, that Arab girl? I did the video with her. I did a few videos with white people, Asian people. It seemed like something is happening. Something is changing in the world, that more people is coming out and fighting against racism. They are joining the fight with black people to go against racism.
Colorism permeates South Asian culture. We love whiteness, and I mean both in terms of the skin, but also in terms of our internalization of white supremacy and racism. We have internalized racism, and we have come to believe that whiteness is better than brownness. And it shows up in things like colorism, where we tell our children to not sit in the sun, to use skin bleaching cream products, and more. This is a manifestation of white supremacy. It's a manifestation of racism, and we have come to believe this. And I'm so done with the colorism in our community, in our culture. So after today, I would love for you to join me in calling out colorism. When you hear comments being made in our culture around how fair is beauty, I want you to call it out. And instead, what we really should be doing is cultivating self-love. We want to be in a place where we embrace how beautiful we are, the melanin in our skin, our brownness.
Happy summer. I cannot believe that I still need to talk to some of y'all about this. Do not tell your brown children to stay out of the sun this summer. Do not offer skin lightening agents to counteract the effect of the sun on your brown children's skin. Do not slather your children in sunscreen with the intent of keeping them light, but rather with the intent of protecting them from skin cancer. Our skin is the imprint of our heritage, of our ancestors, and you will not be making children, literal children, think about how their skin is less desirable than white skin. Let your kids play in the goddamn sun this summer.
After looking at you as a fair woman, Beyonce would feel inferior. Just a friendly reminder, Beyonce's black. Y'all will continue to say colorism in India does not exist when Indian women can't even turn on the TV. Imagine being an Indian woman, turning on the TV, Beyonce, and then imagine going to the drugstore after and seeing Fair and Lovely bleaching products literally everywhere. Going to like an auntie and uncle's house, and then the auntie's like, oh, you got so dark. There is no escaping colorism and the Eurocentrism that was implemented by colonizers. And the fact that this video can exist in 2020 and the production company actors didn't say anything about it is unbelievably problematic and embarrassing. Imagine having colorism in 2020. What the heck? Like, what?
Tell me somebody's colorist without saying they're colorist.
So when I was like 6 or 7, I was in first grade at the time. I was a part of like a Bollywood dance group, and I went over to one of the girls' houses because they were having practice there, and her whole family like basically wouldn't acknowledge me, and they would only serve me food on a metal tray, and they wouldn't let their kids touch that metal tray. And it's all because of obviously the caste system, and I was much darker than their children. So then obviously when my white mom came to come get me, they were shook because they treated me so badly, and it went down. When I tell you all it went down, it went down. We never went back there again. No more dance group for me. Over. And as a 7-year-old, I didn't understand what was going on, but now as an adult, I do, and it's triggering.
Because everyone watches Bollywood. Also, I specifically said South Asian, not South Indian. Bollywood, so far, has only been having actors that look white, which is very problematic because Bollywood is so popular. Not only do South Asians watch it, a lot of people from different countries watch Bollywood movies. And the representation in those movies is so problematic because there are people in my comment section who are foreigners, non-South Asians, who tell me that they did not know that Indians like me existed, meaning Indians of my skin tone or darker than me existed. Only after we started putting ourselves on the internet did they think, oh wow, there are brown and dark skin Indians, South Asians. Why is it not there in Bollywood movies? There is colorism everywhere. But the reason why I hold Bollywood to such a high standard and I talk about them and I attack them on my page is because how popular they are, how much power they hold. Because people watch Bollywood movies and make their assumptions about us. By us, I mean the rest of South Asia, the rest of India, and they think that we look like those people, those actors, those white looking actors, and they think that that's what South Asians look like. Nope. South Asia is very, very diverse. India is very diverse, but we don't have any representation. In my own country, I don't have representation. And Hollywood is doing a much better job at that. Which I think, like, that's weird to me.
Whilst I was growing up, I also watched lots of Indian movies, and sincerely, truly, I never knew that there were Indians who had darker skin than the ones that were portrayed in Bollywood movies. But today I've got lots of Indian friends who are darker skin tones, and I now understand how diverse India is and how you find so many Indians with different skin tones and different shades. But from this video, because of the internet, I've come to learn that it's because of colorism that we see more whiter Indians being portrayed or being pushed forward in the Bollywood industry. And also about skin bleaching. You heard the other women talking about how Indian women who tell their kids not to stay under the sun because they are going to get darker. And if in any instance they get sunburn, they will use skin bleaching creams to look lighter. And also talking about the caste system, as she already said, like we all know, the Indian system is a caste system where those at the bottom of the ladder, of the social ladders, social status. Society is divided into social status. And if you're not of the higher status, you cannot mix with people of the higher status. So she was talking about the caste system, and also this is also intertwined or interrelated with colorism, because as we all know, like in the Western world, in America, for example, people who are lighter skin are treated differently from people who are darker skin. And I even came across a video where a guy was talking about racism, and he talked about how even in the Constitution, the American Constitution, black people were never referred to as equal humans to white people. They were like always, it's still in the Constitution. I don't know if it's been reviewed, but this is what he said, that in the American Constitution, the black man is not equal to the white man. The black man is lesser or is less when compared to a white man, according to the American Constitution. Guys, this is allegedly, because I don't know. I've never read the American Constitution. I've never been in contact with it, but this is it. And colorism in the West, colorism in India, colorism in Africa. Even in Africa, you see so many people, Africans, using bleaching cream because they want to look lighter. And there is this notion that if you look lighter, you will be more appealing and everyone is going to like you. You're going to get contracts, you're going to get jobs. And it's been the case. It has been the case because of the unattainable beauty standards. You know, they create the beauty standards and everyone follow. And if all the models, most of the models, the top models in the top magazines are white, of course, most people from all other races will feel and think that in order to be in a magazine, you need to look lighter. Even in the movies, in order to be in a movie, you need to look lighter. And in India, as she said, it's worse than in America, in Hollywood, because to some extent, Hollywood is diverse. But in India, what is being portrayed by Bollywood, we see only white Indians. Truly, this is 100% true, because I always thought that everyone from India looked like the Indians that I see in Bollywood. So let's continue.
I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's been bothering me. Recently, I've seen a lot of videos on TikTok and Instagram. South Asians asking the British Empire to return the Kohinoor diamond back to India. after the Queen passed away. Sari blouses apparently not being a thing, and that they were introduced by the British Empire to cover a woman's modesty. You know, we're pointing fingers at the British Empire for all these things, and yet they left 75 years ago, and we're still holding on to one of the biggest legacies they've left behind: fair skin privilege and colorism. Okay, so I know that colorism did exist in South Asia before they arrived, but let's be very honest, their arrival exacerbated the problem, right? And we're still holding on to that. In fact, it's thriving. Colorism is thriving in India. We're holding on to that. We're holding on to internalized racism. I think it's high time we start looking within and fix those problems first.
So do my Indian parents finally accept my half-black children? Let's get into it. So last I left off, I haven't spoken to my dad in over a decade. I think the last time I spoke to him was in 2013. I don't need him in my kids' lives. He disowned me a long time ago, or I felt he disowned me, even though I felt like he wanted to communicate with me, but he didn't want to own up to the fact that he has half black grandchildren.
Love sees no color. What her family done is completely unacceptable. They had disowned her for having mixed children with her black husband. Now, as long as her husband, don't matter the race or the color, as long as he treats her good and respects her, no one should have a problem with that. No one whatsoever.
Okay, that's what you think. That's what we say. We just say it, you know, that love doesn't have a color, guy. We should all know that there are some cultures that don't accept us. If someone doesn't accept you, why are you forcing yourself on them? Why would you try to force yourself on them? I really hate it when people claim to say that love doesn't have a color. I don't see color. I see people. I see humans. No, 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 no. We need to fix this. We need to acknowledge the fact that racism exists and people see color. We need to talk about this. This is a serious topic that we all need to be honest with it. We need to be intentional about this because racism has been with us for a long, long time, and it's been internalized and exacerbated by people's cultures, traditions, and beliefs, you know, up to the point that people don't see a problem with it. And for you to claim that I see love, I don't see color. Come on, guy. Come on. You need to be honest. You don't see it, but other people see it. And the system sees it. The system ensures that it stays that way. So we need to be intentional with the way we are dating. We are the most oppressed group of people. We are so oppressed, but we are the ones who are always trying to make peace. We are always trying to bring truth, you know. We are the ones who are always trying to accept, you know, if someone tells you, shows you who they are, believe them. She said her dad hasn't talked to her for 10 years because she has kids with a black man. And all you have to say is that I don't see color. I see love. No, we see color. We need to start seeing color. We as black people need to start seeing color. Because only when we start seeing color will everyone else understand that they've been discriminating us because of our skin color. You understand? You need to see color because you will not see color, but every other person around you sees color. So you need to be conscious. You need to be aware that people see you and they see your color. Don't say that I don't see color, I see love. I don't see people, I don't see racism. I don't see color, I see people, I see humanity. Of course, of course. Of course, but we as black people, especially black men, we need to be intentional about how we date, with who we lay with who we make our offsprings with which culture we intermarried with. We need to be intentional as black people. I have seen so many cases of Indian people, Indian families not wanting their son or their daughter to intermarry with people from other culture, especially black people. And your black people still keep going back there to marry them. What are you looking for that you can't find in your own community, in your own race? What are you all looking for? I'm done. I'm really done with you all. Someone tells you that they don't like you, they don't want you, they don't love you because of the way you look, because of your skin color, and you keep going back to them. Are you desperate? Don't you have self-worth? Don't you know that you are the source? Don't you know that your skin is beautiful? Why are you looking for validation from other cultures, from other races? Why? When they truly have made it clearly that they don't love you, they don't want you. What are you looking for? Guys, what do you think about this? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. I'm really ready to continue this discussion in the comment section. Indian women are leaving their culture to be with black men. Shock. Are you shocked as I am shocked? I'm so shocked because I know that Indians don't mix with anyone other than Indian. I've never seen it. Like, guys, have you ever
He would tell people I'm off somewhere studying. The kids didn't exist. There's no pictures of me in this house. There's no pictures of the kids in this house. Anytime I would see one of his friends, oh, how's school? Bro, I'm married. But anyways, yeah, I don't need that in my life. You'll learn more about my upbringing with my dad and my stepmother in another video. There's a lot there. Anyway, so now let's get into my mom. I tried. Guys, I tried. And I'm like, okay, let's see if she changed. And I would use little triggers to see how she would react. There were 3 things that I'm like, wow, you can still do this to this day? So one was my 21-year-old hurt his Achilles in December. He got hurt. I told Instagram, Facebook, all of that. So my mom follows me on Facebook, so she read it. And I also told my sister, who told my mom. My mom writes me 4 days after it happened. And she was like, she wrote me on Facebook Messenger. She's like, is, Elijah okay? I was like, he's okay. He's in a lot of pain. She wrote me 2 days after that message and gave me a thumbs up emoji. A thumbs up. Okay, whatever. So I decided to visit my sister in Maryland. And because she just had a baby and I wanted to see my nieces. There's 2 of them. So I went there with my oldest daughter, who was her favorite when I was younger. She was literally like, give me her and I want to raise her again. Like she was her daughter because, apparently she didn't raise me and my sister right. Yeah. Anyways, so I brought her to Maryland to see her grandmother because she also wanted to see her uncle and her aunt and all of that good stuff. And my mom, the only thing she really said to my daughter was hi. There was no conversation. There was no, oh, how's school? Or what are you doing? Are you working? There was no trying to get to know her granddaughter at all. And I'm like, that's crazy. You would think she wants to get to know her grandchild. Like, who wouldn't want to get to know your grandchild? If I had a grandchild, I want to know everything about that child. But yeah, she really wasn't trying to talk to that child. And it was very disheartening to see. Very disheartening. I'm like, wow, okay. I'm going to have to get to a part 2 because there's not enough room in this video for this.